Okay, welcome to this third installment of Automotivated, where we speak to Joe Marconi about his 41 years of experience. And he's given you a lot of information so that you can become a success today and possibly retire well like he did. Would you agree with me that I feel that a lot of shops are living in now? And it's kind of like along what you're saying right there. They're living in now and they're so busy dealing with now and trying to make the money off the vehicles that are there now and the technicians or what that they never take that moment to think about then.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. People are reactive most of the times, not proactive.
Mhm.
And let me tell you something about being reactive, putting out fires all day long, taking one problem after another.
Mhm.
It's exhausting. It's exhausting. It's a marathon with no end, and it's a high-paced marathon with no end. Eventually, you'll hit a wall. That's it. I've been there. I've been there where in the 1980s, for too many years, I ran my business putting out fires all day long. I was everywhere. But guess what? You don't know. You can't have with that situation, you don't have the ability to view into the future, and that's bad because you need to plan for the future. Like I said earlier, you need to sit down, quiet time, understanding the future. If you're always reactive to the day around you instead of being proactive about your life, you will live a stressful life. And here's the key: you know you're living this life when you go home at night and you're driving your car home and you tell yourself, I am exhausted and I was busy today, but I just don't know what I accomplished.
Mhm.
Right? That's the sign that you're in reactive mode, putting out fires all day long. And then the other part of that is, do you wake up at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning every night? If that's happening, you're in that anxiety reactive mode, and you got to get out of that. That's just for the long term. Forget about business at this point. Forget about business because if you see, the thing is, you are sacrificing part of your life when you're in that mode. But the thing that people don't realize, it's just not you, because there's a whole nother side that you don't realize. It's your family, it's your wife, your husband. You know what's going on, because when you're sacrificing, they are too. You have to put a plan together. You have to set goals. You have to be more proactive about your life. It's difficult. I know. Trust me. I did it for 41 years. I just sold my company less than a year ago. I know exactly. And there's not much anyone can tell me that I haven't seen before or heard about before. These are all critical things, JB. You're bringing up critical things.
And this is why you're here, Joe, because you have the experience. And there's going to be people, watching this or go, oh. But the problem is, what you've experienced is true, and you're the evidence that it all works. And you also know that you struggle. So bringing this up now to some people is going to be really important. It could be a life changer. So that leads me to like one more question: is when should you start thinking about selling your company? When should you start putting things in place? Because eventually, hopefully, that's what's going to happen.
As soon as you get finished with this podcast, that's that's when.
That's
You're never
perfect.
too early. Because the thing is, like I said, well, you started out with life's curveball, the unexpected, and that's why you need to make sure that your business is ready to sell today. I'm not saying you're going to sell it tomorrow, but you have to look at your business. Do you have a decent or a respectable net profit? Are your financials in place? If someone were to look at your business today, let's say you had to sell, let's say something really dramatic in your life really occurred tomorrow, and you really said, you know what, this is I had, and you, let's say you're 45 years old, and you thought you were going to have another 20 years in business, but you need to sell right now. Now, if you've done nothing and your financials are a mess, you don't have any, you're heavily involved in the business, the business can't run without you, you don't have any procedures in place, you really are stuck, and you're really going to have a difficult time. So here's a couple of tips. Number one is, you need money to the bottom line. If you don't know if that's working in your favor, you don't know how to get there, or not sure about your numbers of your business, get help. Guess your accountant, get a coach, get help. That's the first thing. You have to have clean financials. Number two, you got to assemble a great team of people around you. We talked about that. You're not going to go anywhere in your business without a great team around you. And the third thing is systems and policies in place so that everybody knows what they're doing. And the last component of this, and this starts today, I don't care where you are in your business. You could have just opened the business up 6 months ago. It really doesn't matter. You need to build a business. Again, I'm not talking about absentee ownership, but you need to build a business that doesn't really include you. In other words, you can step away from the business. Your business will be worth more to anyone if you're not in the business, if business can run without you. Those are the major components. Yeah, and then it's like once you get that in place, then you ask yourself, is this going to be a succession deal? In other words, is someone in my family or a key person in the company going to take over the business? Is it going to be a sale? Do you have more than one location? Is it going to be a private equity firm that you're going to reach out to? A private ownership? The shop owner down the road? These are things you have to start asking yourself. But that plan, to your point, John, to answer your question, you're never too young. It starts today. It really does start today. You must have that plan in place. It will change over time. It really will. It will change over time, but you need to start thinking about those things today.
Wow. I mean, that's it. And, when you think about it, if you're selling the business is your team too.
Yep.
The people that work for you, because if you are the business and like you keep telling people not to be far into the business where you got to control everything. Well, when you're gone, how's it going to run when the other people buy it? So that's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, and no, because quite honestly, if I was looking at a business today, I don't want to buy someone's job, So if that's the shop owner that's heavily involved, well, most people today, when they look at a business, if they're looking to buy a business, I just spoke to someone over the weekend, actually last week when we did the Fly with the Eagles course, and he's looking to buy a business, but it has to be a business that's kind of like turnkey. He doesn't want to be the person at the counter or the person under the hood of a car. He's a businessman. He wants to buy the business, and I can't stress enough, John, you have to, no one likes paying taxes. I get that. But if there's no money to the bottom line, then your business isn't worth anything. They're going to look at that bottom line number, and then they're going to try to figure out, is it worth twice that, 3 times that, 4 times that? It's called multiples. And so I learned a lot about this within the past 5 years of getting my company ready to sell. But I'll be honest with you, I should have done this 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when I finally got it, understood business. That was one component that I didn't do until later on, until later. So you just, I can't stress enough that have profit to the bottom line, get the right people around you, really the right people around you, have systems, policies in place that everything runs really, really, really smoothly. Try to eliminate yourself as much as possible from the business, and then try to determine from there, what does it look like in the future? Succession, family, key employee, or some other entity that's going to buy your business. But if you're 25 years old, listen to this, or 30 years old, listen to this and say, I got all the time in the world. You don't. You don't. Let me tell you something. You don't. Because you may have plans. Who knows what tomorrow brings? You don't know. And I wish you all the best of luck in the world. I wish, if you're 30 years old now, listen to this podcast, and you want to see yourself in 35 years, God bless you. I hope you do. But you just don't know. But the thing is, here's the key though, John. If you do these things I ask you to do, your business will be more profitable. You'll have less stress. Your employees will be a lot happier. You'll improve your retention rate of your employees. You'll make more money to the bottom line because you're doing all these things now that I'm asking you to do for the future, but it will make your business more profitable right now and more successful right now. It's a win-win all the way around. You can't lose by following some of this advice that I've learned through the 40 plus years I've been around.
I am so happy to have been able to have you come on board and share all this great knowledge with people. It's not a secret. It's out there, and there's people that can help you. Keep mentioning coaching and things of that sort. But you taking the time right now to share your knowledge and your wisdom is one of the greatest things that anyone could offer. And I really appreciate you for that. And I hope that the people that are watching this also appreciates what you have shared with them. Any final thoughts?
Well, yeah, there is. First of all, I want to thank you for inviting me here, because one of the things that I do that I really learned is to give back. I want to give back. I help others. I'm really involved with a lot of things, and a lot of things going on in my life that people, I just want to help them. But let me just say one thing, that your business, it's tough. I understand the automotive repair business as well as anyone. I've been in it my entire life. I understand it. But just build your business to a point where it enhances your life, not overwhelm it. It must enrich your life, never consume it. So those are my final thoughts. And just review some of the things, and I hope you took notes about what what we talked about here. But do something today. There's only, and my last thought is, there's only one person in this world that can make the biggest difference in your life, and that's yourself. Really, that's yourself. So look, if you're not happy, look at yourself. You have great opportunity. There's great potential. This is going to be a tremendous industry. It's going to change like crazy. I'm so excited about over the next 5-10 years what it's going to look like. In a way, I wish I was still in it because of that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be so exciting. It's a wonderful, industry. So just make sure that your business, you work so hard. I understand that, but make sure that you're enriching your life, not consuming it, not overwhelming it. Those are my final thoughts. Thank you, John. Really, this has been great.
Thank you. I mean, thank you. That's what I gotta say. I'm sorry, but ladies and gentlemen, this is John Burkels, otherwise known as JB from Bolt-On Technology, thanking Joe Marconi for taking his time with us today and sharing, I think, some very important information that many of you have to hear. So, see ya. Take care, and
thanks, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.